Hello dear friends and welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Paulina and here on my channel it is all about fragrances. In today's video I'm going to be talking about the fragrance line La Panthère by the house of Cartier. But before speaking about these fragrances, I gathered a little collection of my own. I have 5 fragrances from this line. Before talking about these fragrances, we have to talk about the Panthère as the symbol of the jewelry house of Cartier. Panthère is the sacred animal for this house, is their symbol. And why is that? Talking about the Panthère, I have here my own wild cat. This is my kitty cat Jessie. She sometimes supports me during the videos, so probably maybe she's going to stay with me today during the video. Well, talking about the Panthère, we have to mention the personality of Jeanne Toussaint. She was a lover and girlfriend of the successor of the house of Cartier, Louis Cartier. They got to know each other just before the World War I. And Louis Cartier fell in love with her, but unfortunately because of her heritage, she was cocotte. She worked in Paris, created women's accessoires, and she had boyfriends, rich men that surrounded her, so it wasn't marriage material, so to say. But Louis Cartier immediately recognized potential in her. She was very artistic, she had perfect taste, and just before the World War I, he created a watch with a Panthère theme, probably as a remembrance, as a symbol for their love between Louis Cartier and Jeanne Toussaint. Why is that? Because the nickname of Jeanne Toussaint was Panthère. Louis Cartier immediately recognized that she was very talented and invited her, asked her to work with his company. And she was very successful. And by the year of 1933, she already was an art director of the house of Cartier. And Panthère was her symbol, was a theme, and that's why, as a heritage to Jeanne Toussaint, House Cartier adopted this symbol as their brand symbol. So, in 1986, House of Cartier launched a perfume called Panthère. Unfortunately, I never smelled this fragrance. I don't know what the notes are. Probably it is a very rare perfume, vintage perfume. But for the 100 years anniversary in 2014, the House of Cartier launched another line of Panthère fragrances, La Panthère. The creator, the nose behind these fragrances is their in-house perfumer, Mathilde Laurent. So, and the House of Cartier launched the Panthère line and started with the Eau de Parfum launch, which was very successful and is still a huge success. Now, what is this fragrance about? What are the notes listed here? Because this fragrance, Eau de Parfum, this is kind of the original, the perfume that started the whole line of different launches. I have to say that my first impression on the range of La Panthère began from the flanker, La Panthère Edition Soir. When I first spritzed this on my skin, I was completely in love with this one because it's so special. So after this one, I wanted to know more about this line, so I created my own little collection I don't have all the fragrances from this line, I don't have the limited editions, and I don't have some flankers. So what is this fragrance about? The Eau de Parfum, which was created, which was started in 2014. The top notes are dried fruits, rhubarb, strawberry, anise and bergamot. The middle notes are gardenia, rose, ylang ylang, flower of orange and pear. And the base, oak moss, musk, leather and patchouli. What do I get spraying on my skin, on the paper? The first impression is a very sour, fruity sour blast. Strawberry, rhubarb, some citrusy notes. As it dries down, the sweetness of pear becomes more prominent, and the pear and the fruity notes, they kind of support the main accord of gardenia. This fragrance is about a flower of gardenia and musk. In this one I also feel the bitterness and the deepness of the oak moss. It gives to this fragrance a very official, kind of very serious touch. I would say that this fragrance would suit for a formal occasion, would be perfect with a tailored suit, business dress. It gives you kind of support for a very important business meeting. Also could be suitable for evening wear with a formal dress. So this is a very serious, official kind of business fragrance. Nothing of the sexiness or some playfulness. It is very, very formal. But nonetheless, it is very beautiful fragrance. The longevity is astonishing here. Also the projection, I can feel this fragrance around me. I got this fragrance in a very small bottle, 25 milliliters. For these formal occasions and business meetings and kind of business stuff, it's more than enough for me. I love this one, a very nice one. So the line continued with Eau de Parfum Legere, which was launched in 2015, also by in-house perfumer Mathilde Laurent. So what is this one about? As the name of this fragrance already reveals, it is a lighter version of the Eau de Parfum. So what is this fragrance about? The fragrance notes are slightly different. So in the taupe, dried fruits, but they added some green notes here. Pear is also in the top notes now. They added tangerine, and bergamot stayed as in the previous version. In the heart, gardenia. It is also a fragrance dedicated to gardenia. Tiare flower, and this is a Tahitian gardenia. Aldehydes, which is also new for this fragrance, ylang ylang. Peach is also new in this fragrance note. Rose and jasmine, also an added component. In the base, oak moss, musk, patchouli, leather and orris root, also new. I completely agree that this version is a lighter version of Eau de Parfum. It is more exotic because of the tiare flower. It is more a creamy version. Probably ylang ylang plays a bigger role here. For me, this is a summer fragrance for day wear, for the not so formal occasions, because of this exotic touch in it, creamy touch in it. It's not so powerful as the original version of Eau de Parfum. and I feel more woodiness here. Although the woody notes aren't listed in this fragrance, probably because of the green notes or the orris root, I feel some woodiness, some woody touch in this one. For me, this is more informal, exotic version of Eau de Parfum, but they are really very close to each other. The next step in the Panthère line was the creation of the Edition Soir in 2016, also by Mathilde Laurent. The notes listed here are also gardenia, animalistic notes, oak moss, musk, and floral notes. So no patchouli and no citrus fruits. Probably there are not all the notes listed on Fragrantica. Probably there are more, but I couldn't find anything else. What I feel having this on my skin, spraying it around me, this is a sexy kitten. This has more strawberry in it, more sourness. It is very alluring. It is a very enticing, sexy fragrance, provocative and alluring, seductive. This is a seduction in the bottle. As a panther in her playfulness, in her playful mood. So for me, it is a very nice fragrance for informal occasions, probably for evening wear because of this animalistic touch. Very beautiful fragrance with a little bitter note and some velvety touch. It's not silky, it is velvety. Probably like a feeling that you get touching a cat, a wild cat. The longevity here is also astonishing and the projection is also very nice. So the next step in La Panthère line was the creation of the Eau de Toilette version in 2018. The nose behind this one was also Mathilde Laurent. So what is this fragrance about? Eau de Toilette version. The top notes are grapefruit, bergamot. The middle notes are gardenia, green notes, lily of the valley, pineapple, rose, jasmine, and pear. So quite different notes. Grapefruit wasn't listed in the previous versions. Also, lily of the valley, pineapple are also new. And the base, musk, patchouli, sandalwood, which is also new, and leather. So the notes, the fragrance notes, are quite different in this one. And spraying this on my skin, having this around me, I would say that the pineapple note is very prominent as the fragrance opens. The combination of pineapple and lily of the valley gives to this fragrance a little lighter touch. And I also can detect more of the floral notes, so the floral aspect is quite prominent here. This one is not so sweet comparing to the previous ones because there are no dried fruits here, no depth of the dried fruits here. It's not so fruity. It is a lighter combination, a more elegant combination of the pineapple and lily of the valley. And I would say this one is the most suitable for day wear, both for formal and informal occasions. And I would say this one gives me like a beachy mood, beachy touch. It supports the strong spirit, gives you kind of boldness and determination to, so it gives you kind of boldness and determination, such a beachy accord here, due to sourness of the pineapple and creamy touch of lily of the valley. A very nice one, also a very strong longevity and projection. And the last fragrance that I would like to talk about, this was the newest launch of the Panthère line, Parfum. Fragrance was created in 2020. And what are the notes listed in here? Apricot, osmanthus, oak moss, gardenia, patchouli and musk. So new here is the apricot and osmanthus. I think this is a very, also like the original Eau de Parfum, it is also a very official, serious, formal fragrance. A fragrance of success, money, of some business meetings, also very suitable for formal business dress, maybe for evening wear with a long, beautiful dress, probably to go to the theater or some classical concert. Very classic, floral, fruity shipper. What I feel spraying on my skin, I feel the deep touch of the apricot. This apricotiness gives this surrounding feeling of fruitiness. Also very prominent osmanthus, note of osmanthus. I think, in my opinion, the osmanthus gives to the fragrances a very elegant and feminine touch. So I never smelled osmanthus in the nature, but I know what is osmanthus in the perfumery. So I can very well detect this osmanthus note in here. But of course, this is also a fragrance dedicated to gardenia and animalistic touch. Unfortunately, although it is meant to be a parfum, promises the strongest longevity, I can't really feel this fragrance being so strong, lasting so long. Compared to the previous four, this has the poorest performance in my opinion, but this might be individual. So I feel more oak moss here, and it is more structured, although very well balanced. If I compare all these 5 fragrances, and if I should try and put the rating, my personal rating for these fragrances, I would put on the first place the Eau de Toilette version, because this is the most comfortable version for me to wear. I can wear this perfume for many different occasions, and I like this beachy touch of it, this kind of feeling that supports your determination and boldness. I also like the note of the pineapple and lily of the valley that support the gardenia and animalistic accords. So my place number 1 goes to the Toilette version. The second place I would give to the original Eau de Parfum version, because this is the original, this is a very classic fragrance, a very official and formal, very serious, and a very good projection and performance, overall performance. That's why this is my second choice. My third choice is the Edition Soir. I love this fragrance, it is so special, but because of this animalistic touch, of the sexiness and seductive touch, I can't wear it so often because of this sexy touch, this animalistic accord and this playfulness. I don't have so many occasions to wear this fragrance, so that's why only the third choice, although the fragrance is very beautiful. In the fourth place in my personal rating, I would give both to the Parfum version and Legere version. This exotic touch is not very familiar to me, is not very close to my personality. It is too creamy, too exotic for me. That's why I prefer the more formal, the more serious the Parfum. But because of the poor performance of this one, both of them have their advantages and disadvantages. So that's why they share my fourth place of choice. So these were 5 fragrances from the La Panthère line of the house of Cartier. Clearly, I would say that I overshopped, because the direction for all 5 of them is more or less the same. They have their own nuances, they have their own differences, but if you have the possibility to choose only one, I would say you can freely choose any of them and you would be really, really happy. Because if you don't have them so close to each other, sniffing and trying to determine, to detect the differences, probably from the distance you wouldn't even notice that. I wouldn't even notice that, because the direction is more or less very similar, the same. So, I hope it was interesting for you. Thank you very much for your attention and see you soon next video. Bye bye!